I know we're doing this at a time where you got some disappointing news, but, and I can't say it enough, and I like that you are there for whomever younger person or person in whatever age group needs to see that mentally tough people push forward. Um, you know, I think you're still driven by this. Um, what what do you think you need to do on top of what you've already done to maintain a competitive edge in continuing and acquiring clients, and not only just acquiring clients, but serving them well and giving them the best representation possible?
It's funny because I think I ended up thinking about some of this stuff over the weekend because I'm figuring out, how we're going to move in this post-corona era since things are going to be very, very tight. Um, and one of the places that I'm at is we have to have quality talent. I've developed so many people, I cannot develop everyone. And I think it's my fault because the interviews that I do and I talk about how I started and what I'm all about, and then I get folks who have no acting training, they haven't done anything, and then they run and be like, "Well, I want you to be my agent," and I'm like, "But you haven't gone to school." You don't have a resume. I just literally had one of the most frustrating meetings of my life where this woman put a bunch of guest star credits on her resume. And for those who don't understand, a guest star is that like star of the episode. The story centers around them, right? And she was on Insecure twice. She put that she was on I'm Dying Up Here, and she put some other like major show on there. And when I couldn't find footage, couldn't find any evidence of her, was unfamiliar with her name. And I said, I think these are background. Like, are these background? And she said that she had clips. She sends me the clip and she says, "Well, I'm the one in the green." And I watch the clip and the camera starts to truck left across the crowd because this is that episode of Insecure where they went to the little movie, you picnic to watch the movie like at Hollywood Forever Cemetery or whatever. And sure as shit, there she was on a blanket being background. She wasn't a guest star, you know what I'm saying, in this show. And so this is where the honest conversation has to be is here's exactly what I need you guys to come to me with. You need to come with improv from UCB, Groundlings, or Second City. You need to come to me with Meisner from either Baron Brown or, dare I say, Leslie Kahn, which is a whole conversation because she was the one who got busted for telling a Jewish woman who had olive tone skin to pretend to be Mexican and put ruby red lipstick on and say that her name was Rosie Ramirez and then go see if she could register that name with SAG so she could get an agent. Yeah, that was Leslie Kahn. So a lot of times she's off my list, but a lot of people have gone there. I've never met her. I'm actually happy I've never met her because I just feel like my reflexes would land me in jail. But I need training from places that actually hold weight and value. We cannot continue to waste our time at places that really just aren't setting you up for success. And I've had this conversation with the kids when they come out of these colleges too. They come to these meetings and they ask these questions that let me know they have no idea what they're doing. And all they're doing really is just painting themselves as an easy mark. When you start asking, these crazy questions, like at this point, I've been around for 6 years and people may disagree, but I don't feel like I need to be asked the question now of like, why did you start your agency? When I've talked about it at least in 10 different articles. And I've given them a list of the articles prior to the meeting and said, here, read these and do your research. Most of your questions have been answered here. And then the others of like, well, what do you like about being an agent? And I'm just kind of like, I hate it. It's awful. Don't do it. But I just don't, like, that has nothing to do with my existence here as an agent. I've been around for over 5 years at this point. We have work to do. And so for me personally, answering those questions are very rudimentary. I would rather you ask me like, yo, what can I do to go out more? What can I do to get bookings? How can I help my career progress? Rather than trying to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you're questioning why I'm doing what I'm doing, why are we having this meeting? You came here and you said you needed an agent. It's like, to me, it's like going in to get an oil change at a mechanic shop. And before they start checking the oil and the filter and changing everything, you're just like, hey man, what do you like about being a mechanic? Why'd you decide to be a mechanic? It's like, do we really interview the mechanic for their qualifications before we bring in the car? No, we're like, hey man, the engine's knocking. And they're either going to tell you, oh, we don't do that here, or, okay, we looked at it, it's your transmission, you're going to need to go this place because they specialize in transmissions, right? So that's kind of where I'm at, and that's the way I look at certain things. But really, I just need folks that are established. A lot of agencies don't take people who have less than 3 co-star credits. And co-star credits are typically those people who just, say, okay, have a seat in the lobby, or he went that way, or here's your water, that kind of thing. They're just minor little roles, but they're very hard to get. And it's unrealistic to think that your agent can get that for you. And there's a reason why a lot of these agents are not as hands-on as I am, because 1, it's very time consuming. But 2, we're commissioned. Nobody has time for this. Nobody has time to sit up here and fight with you all day for a commission that ranges between $12.50 to $100. And that's what people don't understand. Like, I watch people online complain about a $20 commission. Meanwhile, your agent has to eat, your agent has to, have an office, your agent has to be able to subscribe to the casting sites because they're not free. Like, the agent has to spend a lot of money in order to conduct business. And they've done all of this work for you for free, literally. And now you've booked something and you're upset that your agent might be getting an extra $20. Like, are we really, is that where we're at now? And so that's the life of the boutique agent. And so now I'm at that point where the threshold's just been cut off to where I can't keep messing with folks who aren't going anywhere, and it's terrible to say, but that's kind of where we're at. And I can assess that in meeting with you in 10 minutes because that's how many people I've met. And so I know the telltale signs. But most importantly, I trust my gut. If we're talking and I'm not feeling you, I already know it's not going to work.
What's been